Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? Eating your greens, trying to stay active, but still, something just isn't quite right. Maybe you're battling a persistent feeling of fatigue that just won't lift. Or perhaps you're experiencing aches and pains that you just can't seem to shake. Even after a good night's rest, you might find your digestion isn't as smooth as it used to be. Or perhaps your doctor has mentioned your blood sugar or cholesterol levels are creeping up. It's a frustrating reality for many of us as we get a little older, isn't it? We strive to be healthy, but sometimes the very foods we've been told are good for us, the ones sitting innocently on our dinner plates, might actually be quietly contributing to these very issues, pulling us away from the vibrant, energetic life we deserve to live. It's a surprising truth, and it can be a painful one to realize. You think you're making the best choices. But there's a secret, a hidden connection between some seemingly wholesome vegetables and a decline in well-being for those of us over 65. The good news is, once you know what to look for, you can make simple adjustments that can dramatically improve how you feel. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 common vegetables that might be working against your health goals, leading to things like joint pain, digestive upset, blood sugar spikes, and even issues with certain medications. It's not about giving up on vegetables entirely, but about making smarter choices tailored to your body as it ages. Understanding this can be a real game changer for your energy, your comfort, and your overall vitality. So, stay with me, because watching this to the very end will reveal something that might genuinely surprise you and change the way you look at your plate forever. Let's start our journey by shining a light on the first group of vegetables that might be silently undermining your health, especially if you're over 65. The dark, leafy greens like spinach and kale. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I've always been told these are superfoods. And for good reason. They are packed with vitamins and minerals. However, for a significant number of us reaching our golden years, these greens can sometimes become a source of unexpected trouble. One of the biggest concerns, and this is a really important one, revolves around vitamin K. Dark leafy greens are incredibly rich in vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting. But here's the catch if you are among the many seniors taking blood-thinning medications, particularly warfarin. Consuming large, inconsistent amounts of these greens can actually interfere with your medication. You see, warfarin works by reducing vitamin K's clotting ability. If you suddenly eat a lot more spinach than usual, or a lot less, it can throw your medication's effectiveness completely off balance, making your blood either too thin, leading to a risk of bleeding, or too thick, increasing your risk of clots. It's not about avoiding them entirely, but about maintaining a consistent intake if you're on these medications. And always talking to your doctor or pharmacist about your diet. They can help you manage your dosage and ensure your diet supports your medication. Rather than working against it, it's about being aware, not afraid. Beyond the blood thinners, there's another less talked about issue with these greens, and that's their oxalate content. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plants, and spinach is particularly high in them. For most people, oxalates are harmless, but for individuals prone to kidney stones, consuming large amounts of high oxalate foods can significantly increase their risk. These oxalates can bind with calcium in your body and form crystals, which can then accumulate into kidney stones, leading to excruciating pain and serious complications. While cooking can help reduce oxalate levels in some greens, it doesn't eliminate them entirely. So, if you have a history of kidney stones, or if you've been advised by your doctor to watch your oxalate intake, it might be wise to limit your consumption of raw spinach and kale smoothies and opt for lower oxalate greens like collard greens, turnip greens, or even romaine lettuce instead. It's about being kind to your kidneys as you age. Moving on from our leafy green friends, let's talk about another common staple that might be secretly sabotaging your health: potatoes. Yes, the humble potato. For generations, potatoes have been a cornerstone of our diets, comforting and versatile. But when we're talking about seniors over 65, potatoes, especially when prepared in certain ways, can become a silent contributor to some serious health challenges, primarily related to blood sugar management. Potatoes, you see, are what we call a starchy vegetable. They're very high in carbohydrates, which, once digested, quickly convert into glucose, or sugar, in your bloodstream. This means they have a high glycemic index for someone living with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or even just dealing with increasing insulin resistance as they age. A serving of mashed potatoes or French fries can cause a significant and rapid spike in blood sugar levels. These constant spikes over time can put a tremendous strain on your pancreas, contributing to insulin resistance and making it harder to control existing diabetes, leading to a decline in energy, increased inflammation, and a higher risk for long-term complications like heart disease and nerve damage. It's like putting too much fuel into a car that's designed for slow, steady energy release. Furthermore, it's not just the potato itself, but often how we prepare it. Think about it: deep-fried chips, creamy mashed potatoes loaded with butter and sour cream, or even potato salads swimming in mayonnaise. These preparations add unhealthy fats, calories, and often even more sugar, compounding the problem. While a plain, boiled potato might be okay in moderation, the way we typically consume them often turns a potentially neutral food into a high-calorie, high-sugar, inflammatory dish. But there's a trick you might not know: cooking potatoes and then cooling them in the fridge overnight actually changes some of their starches into resistant starch, which acts more like fiber and has a lower impact on blood sugar. So, if you love your potatoes, consider having them as part of a balanced meal, boiled or baked, and perhaps even cooled first. Better yet, explore healthier alternatives like baked sweet potatoes, which are lower on the glycemic index and packed with vitamin A, or even delightful cauliflower mash, which offers a similar texture without the blood sugar worries. It's about making conscious choices that empower your health, allowing you to enjoy your food without the hidden costs. Now that we've delved into the surprising truths about dark leafy greens and potatoes, let's keep moving forward with our journey of discovery. Our next vegetable on the list that might be causing unexpected issues for seniors over 65 is corn. This golden grain, often enjoyed at barbecues or as a side dish, can be a sneaky contributor to health decline, and for reasons you might not immediately consider. First off, while corn does contain some fiber and nutrients, it's essentially a starchy grain, similar to potatoes. It has a higher sugar content and glycemic load than many other vegetables, meaning it can cause a significant rise in blood sugar levels. For individuals managing diabetes or insulin resistance, this can be particularly problematic, making it harder to keep blood sugar stable throughout the day. Beyond that, a large portion of the corn we consume today, especially in processed foods, is genetically modified GMO and heavily sprayed with pesticides. While the long-term health effects of GMOs are still debated, many people find that avoiding them improves their digestive health and reduces inflammatory responses. And let's not forget the multitude of processed corn products: high fructose corn syrup, corn oil, corn starch that are ubiquitous in processed foods and undeniably detrimental to our health, contributing to obesity, heart disease, and chronic inflammation. Even corn on the cob, for some, can be difficult to digest. The tough outer hull of corn kernels is largely indigestible for humans, which means it can pass through your system largely intact, leading to bloating, gas, and discomfort for those with sensitive digestive systems. It's not about being afraid of a fresh ear of corn now and then, but about being mindful of its impact on your blood sugar and digestive system, and certainly steering clear of its highly processed forms. If you enjoy corn, opt for organic, fresh corn in moderation, and pair it with protein and healthy fats to slow down sugar absorption. Next on our list, let's talk about a beloved, versatile fruit that's often mistaken for a vegetable: the tomato. Tomatoes are a staple in countless dishes, from sauces to salads. However, for a segment of the senior population, tomatoes can surprisingly contribute to discomfort and health issues. One of the primary concerns stems from their acidity. For many individuals over 65, acid reflux, or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, becomes a more prevalent issue, with symptoms like heartburn, indigestion, and a sour taste in the mouth. The natural acidity of tomatoes, whether fresh or cooked into sauces, can significantly aggravate these conditions, leading to considerable discomfort and even damage to the esophagus over time. If you find yourself reaching for antacids after a plate of pasta with tomato sauce, your body might be trying to tell you something. Beyond acidity, tomatoes also belong to a group of plants called nightshades, which include potatoes, bell peppers, and eggplants. While nightshades are generally safe for most people, some individuals, particularly those with inflammatory conditions like arthritis, report that consuming nightshade vegetables can exacerbate their symptoms, leading to increased joint pain, stiffness, and inflammation. This is attributed to compounds like solanine found in nightshades, though scientific evidence is still evolving. The theory is that these compounds might trigger an inflammatory response in sensitive individuals. If you're constantly battling joint aches and you consume a lot of tomatoes, it might be worth an experiment. Try eliminating all nightshades from your diet for a few weeks, and then reintroduce them one by one to see if your symptoms improve. It's a simple test that could provide valuable insight into your body's unique sensitivities. It's about paying attention to your body's signals and being willing to make dietary adjustments for your comfort and well-being. Following closely in the footsteps of tomatoes, our fifth vegetable of concern for seniors over 65 is the colorful bell pepper, often celebrated for its vibrant hues and vitamin C content. Bell peppers, like tomatoes, are also members of the nightshade family, and they can pose similar challenges for those with specific sensitivities. For individuals who experience inflammatory conditions such as arthritis or fibromyalgia, the compounds found in nightshades, including bell peppers, may potentially trigger or worsen their symptoms. While research is ongoing, many people report feeling increased joint pain, stiffness, or overall discomfort after consuming bell peppers, especially in larger quantities. If you find yourself grappling with chronic aches and pains that seem to flare up without clear reason, it might be a subtle dietary trigger, and bell peppers could be one of the culprits. It's worth noting that cooking bell peppers can sometimes reduce these compounds, but for highly sensitive individuals, even cooked forms might cause issues. Beyond the nightshade connection, bell peppers can also be surprisingly problematic for digestive health, particularly for seniors. The tough outer skin and fibrous internal membranes of bell peppers can be difficult for some digestive systems to break down, leading to uncomfortable symptoms like gas, bloating, and indigestion. This is especially true for raw bell peppers, which are often enjoyed in salads or as snacks with dips. As we age, our digestive enzymes can become less efficient, and our gut microbiome can change, making it harder to process certain challenging fibers. If you notice a feeling of fullness, distension, or excessive gas after eating bell peppers, your body might be signaling a difficulty in digestion. A simple tip that often helps reduce digestive discomfort is to remove the skin and seeds before consuming them, or opting for cooked bell peppers rather than raw ones. Roasting or sautéing them until they are tender can make them much easier on your stomach. However, if symptoms persist, it might be a sign that this particular vegetable is just not suited for your system, and exploring alternatives that are gentler on your digestive tract would be a wise choice. It's all about finding what truly nourishes your unique body as you age, helping you feel your best. Every single day, as we continue our exploration into vegetables that might be silently undermining your health, let's turn our attention to the sixth item on our list: eggplant. This distinctive purple vegetable, a staple in many cuisines, particularly Mediterranean and Asian dishes, also belongs to the nightshade family, just like tomatoes and bell peppers. And like its nightshade relatives, eggplant carries a similar potential for triggering inflammatory responses in certain sensitive individuals. Eggplant contains compounds like solanine, which, for some people with inflammatory conditions such as arthritis, can contribute to increased joint pain, stiffness, and overall systemic inflammation. If you're consistently battling aches in your knees, hands, or back, and you regularly consume dishes featuring eggplant, it might be worth considering if this vegetable is playing a role in your discomfort. It's fascinating how our bodies react so differently to foods, And what's perfectly fine for one person might be an inflammatory trigger for another. For many years, you might have enjoyed eggplant without issue, but as our bodies age and our sensitivities can change, what once worked might now contribute to your feelings of malaise. Furthermore, eggplant often acts like a sponge, absorbing a lot of oil when cooked, especially when fried. Think of dishes like eggplant parmesan or fried eggplant slices. While delicious, these preparations can add significant amounts of unhealthy fats and calories, which contribute to weight gain, inflammation, and heart health issues, all of which are important concerns for seniors. If you suspect eggplant might be an issue, try eliminating it from your diet for a few weeks to see if your symptoms improve. If you simply love eggplant and wish to continue enjoying it, consider healthier preparation methods like grilling, baking, or roasting with minimal oil. You can also try slicing and salting the eggplant first, letting it sit to draw out bitterness and some compounds, then rinsing it thoroughly before cooking. This can sometimes make it more palatable and digestible for sensitive individuals. Finally, we arrive at our seventh and last group of vegetables, cabbage and Brussels sprouts. These cruciferous powerhouses are often lauded for their health benefits, packed with vitamins, minerals, and compounds that support detoxification. However, for many seniors, they can pose significant digestive challenges and even interact with certain health conditions. The primary issue with cabbage and Brussels sprouts, as well as other cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, is their high content of complex carbohydrates called raffinose. Humans lack the enzyme necessary to break down raffinose in the small intestine. So it travels undigested to the large intestine where it's fermented by bacteria. While this fermentation process is healthy for your gut microbiome, it produces a significant amount of gas, leading to uncomfortable bloating, distension, and flatulence. For seniors, whose digestive systems might already be more sensitive or slower, this can be particularly distressing and disruptive. Imagine feeling constantly puffed up and uncomfortable after a meal. It's certainly not conducive to enjoying life to the fullest. Moreover, for individuals with existing thyroid conditions, particularly hypothyroidism, consuming very large quantities of raw cruciferous vegetables might be a concern. These vegetables contain compounds known as goitrogens, which can potentially interfere with the thyroid's ability to absorb iodine, a crucial mineral for thyroid hormone production. While cooking generally deactivates these goitrogenic compounds, and moderate consumption is unlikely to be an issue for most, if you have a diagnosed thyroid condition, it's a point worth discussing with your doctor, especially if your diet includes a lot of raw cabbage or Brussels sprouts. So, what's the takeaway here? It's not about fearing these vegetables or eliminating them entirely from your life, unless you find they consistently cause you problems. Instead, it's about becoming a detective of your own body, listening closely to its signals. If you notice persistent bloating after eating Brussels sprouts, or if your joints ache more after a tomato-rich meal, those are valuable clues. It's about choosing cooked over raw for easier digestion, or smaller portions to test your tolerance. It's about making informed choices, perhaps opting for fermented cabbage like sauerkraut, which is easier to digest and offers probiotics, or exploring gentler alternatives like zucchini, green beans, or lettuce if your body simply doesn't tolerate these stronger vegetables. And there you have it, 7 common vegetables that, for seniors over 65, might be contributing to unexplained aches, digestive woes, or even interfering with vital medications. We've talked about dark leafy greens and their vitamin K and oxalate content, potatoes and corn spiking blood sugar, and the nightshade family, tomatoes, bell peppers, and eggplant, potentially contributing to inflammation. And finally, the mighty cabbage and Brussels sprouts, known for causing digestive upset and having a possible impact on thyroid function for some. The big surprise I mentioned at the beginning, the one that can truly change how you approach your plate. Is this your body's needs change as you age? What was once perfectly fine for you at 30 or 40 might not serve you as well at 65 or 70. Our digestion slows, our nutrient absorption shifts, and our bodies become more sensitive to certain compounds. The secret is to let go of old dietary rules that no longer serve you and to truly tune into your body's unique responses. It's not about restriction for restriction's sake, but about making empowering choices that bring you more energy, less pain, and greater vitality. Remember, small changes can make a monumental difference to your health and happiness. Just being aware of these potential interactions is the first crucial step. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these issues with these vegetables? What changes have you made that have helped you feel better? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help so many others in our community. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical advice and inspiring content designed to help you live your best life at every age. We're in this together. And by making informed choices, you truly can thrive and enjoy every moment.